Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Red. When we left off the last video, which was supposed to be a full paint correction, I discovered that there is... Hold on, gotta figure out the lighting that will show it. Not that. A very slight defect in the paint on the hood here, and it's really hard to show on camera, but basically it runs the length here. Got some splotchiness in this area right here. This side appears to be okay. End result was, I think that I need to repaint the hood, and then as you guys recall, and you can probably even see on camera right now, the front bumper doesn't match very well. Which is a bummer because I just paid good money to have it repainted. And I went through why I think it doesn't match in the last video, but it boils down to this car is 22 years old and I think it's been painted at least once. And you know, paint variations are there. That's why you're supposed to blend stuff. But I think that we can fix it or at least make it better. Also, I have been scouring the internet for pictures of low mileage red 4th gen Firebirds, and what we got going on right here is actually more common than you think right from the factory. These cars were painted in pieces. If it's a WS6, like this one is, this hood, the Ram Air hood, was painted by ASC, or American Sunroof Corporation, completely separate from the car. So it's not uncommon for these 4th gen F-bodies and Camaro, or Trans Ams and Camaros, for the paint to not match from the factory. I've seen this in low mileage cars. Is it as bad as mine? Maybe not. What I'm getting at here is the proper way to do this, or the way an elite body shop would, I hope, do this, is blend the whole front end. And if they do it right, maybe not get into the doors here. I'm not an elite body shop. I'm just a redneck in his garage. So I'm gonna try and do it a little different. As you guys saw in the B-roll, I removed the gas cap and this headlight lid. And as near as I can tell, I stared at this paint for an hour last night until my eyes hurt. They match perfectly. Both of them, both the headlight bucket and the gas cap, match this fender perfectly, which tells me that the rest of the car matches pretty well. It's just this hood and this bumper that don't, and it's just obvious because they, you know, butt right up against each other. I gotta fix this gap a little bit. I think I could probably tighten that up. Anyways, I dropped it off at my local paint supply store because I called them and asked if they had one of those, I think it's called a spectrometer or spectra something. Basically, it's one of those cameras that tells you what, you know, how to mix what the color is that it's seeing. So if you say, hey, here's a headlight bucket or a gas cap door from my car that's been painted once and it's also 22 years old, it's gonna spit out how to mix up the paint that matches that best. Is it a perfect science? No, I'm pretty sure it's not. I've never done this before. Like I said, the right way to do it is to blend it, but is it hopefully a lot better than whatever that is? I hope so, and that's what I'm going for. So he's mixing that paint up, and my plan is to repaint the front bumper and the hood. So right now, while the car's in the air, let's get to work. As much as it's a bummer because I just put it back on, let's take off this bumper. Let's get these grills out of the hood and hopefully get this hood off. Start doing some prep work and see how far we get. Fast at this. Well, that escalated quickly. Bumper is off, getting good at that. Done it twice now in the last 2-3 weeks. And the hood is off too. Got my wife out here to help me get this thing off. Last night got the grills out there, got the plate cover off, and I don't know, the camera just doesn't do it justice, but this is darker. But we already knew that. So the plan now is to prep these for paint, and made a little trip to Harbor Freight today. Invested, I have a electric DA or dual action or random orbital sander. I finally just decided to buy an air one. I think this was 90 bucks from Harbor Freight. Did get a soft interface pad for, making sure we don't burn through like edges and stuff. And some 800 grit. We're gonna use 800 grit to scuff the existing paint, give the base coat something, the new base coat something to bond to. And then the clear obviously will bond to that. And then for the hard to reach areas, I've got a gray scuff pad. This should be equivalent to 800 grit. The problem is this new DA comes with, this is supposed to be like a sticky backing pad. I guess I was supposed to buy sticky sandpaper, but who the heck wants that? I want the hook and loop. So I'm gonna go back tomorrow, see if I can get a hook and loop backing plate for this thing. But I just put a new fitting in there. Also, just repaired my air compressor here. This thing was having a heck of a time starting only when it was full, like there was pressure in the tank. And I was thinking, okay, maybe the old Craftsman Sears 5 horsepower motor finally gave out. Looked up some replacements online. Chinese ones were like $200, which is more expensive than I thought. And American made ones were like up to $500. So I was like, at that point, maybe I'll just buy a whole new air compressor. I think I bought this thing on Marketplace for 200 bucks like years ago. But then I started researching a little bit more. It turns out the capacitors in those things that are what typically go bad. Specifically in this case, it was the start capacitor. So obviously when you start an electric motor, there's a huge inrush of current, or it needs a huge inrush of current to overcome and get, the windings going and stuff. And if that capacitor that's supposed to give it that initial charge goes bad, it can't start when there's air in the tank. So I went on McMaster-Carr. The start capacitor was $13, and then I think a run capacitor was $9. So I just ordered both of them. Just put them in. Check this out. Got, I don't know, 60 PSI in the tank. Mint. Beforehand, the thing would barely turn over. You could hear the motor like humming and just pulling a ton of current, not doing anything, getting hot. None of that was good. So with shipping, 40 bucks, it was at my door the next day. We fixed my air compressor. Anyways, gonna buzz this stuff down with 800, hopefully using my new DA. Hard to reach areas, we'll use the gray scuff pad. And then hopefully I'll have a color match tomorrow. And then got something from my friends over at VEVOR. I finally invested in one of their inflatable paint booths. I think I went with the 13 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot only because I think that if we ever had to, if I want to paint in the winter, this would fit in the garage. Instead of taping off the lift bay here like I've done in the past, I think that this could fit inside. So that's great. Only problem is I think it's going to be really tight with that hood, and especially with the hood and the bumper. We'll see, but for the most part, I really don't paint stuff this big. Most of the time I'm doing at the most a bumper, sometimes valve covers, intake manifolds, stuff like that. So this thing should be good. Comes with even like a carrying bag here so that we can fold this up and hopefully store it neatly in the shed or something when we're done. Those are some stakes if we want to use it outside. And check this out. We got a double-sided wind wheel. Strong wind. You guys have heard of the Wu-Tang war whistle. Get ready for the double-sided wind wheel. I'm gonna start calling turbos that. Yeah, my Z06 there's got double-sided wind wheels. Anyways, there's a bunch of different options for these things. I specifically ordered the one that has one fan that keeps the structure inflated and another one that has ventilation so that we keep the fumes moving, keep the clear coat particles moving, we get filtered air coming in, and hopefully gives us a decent result as far as a paint job, but we'll see. Oh yeah, and got a couple more paint cups here for my gun so that we're ready to shoot hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day. I would love to get this stuff sprayed in tomorrow, but that means a lot of work. This all has to be scuffed down. Got to go pick up the paint, got to go back to Harbor Freight and get whatever I need to sand, and then then obviously paint takes a long time. So hopefully, I think I'm gonna just go to bed early tonight, get up early tomorrow, and just get after it. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
There goes nothing.
What do you know? Another windy day in New Hampshire. It is beautiful out, like 60 degrees, not terribly windy right now. And this time of year is tough. It's like 60 degrees today, it's gonna be 40 degrees tomorrow, and when you get those temperature swings, it gets windy. What are you gonna do? Spring is here though, thank God. Headed towards warm weather. I just got back from the paint store, so here is our mixed paint that should be a good match for... He actually scanned both the headlight and the gas door. He said which one, they're both actually slightly different, which even though to me, they look pretty much identical. He said they are slightly different according to the camera. Which one do you want to match? I obviously said the headlight because that's from the front of the car. And that's where we kind of wanted to match. The headlight and the fender seemed to be a very good match to me. So he mixed this up. He said it's basically identical to a 2003 rendition of bright red right there, which is different from the paint code that this car originally came with. And it seems in the sun and actually in the store to match very well. So fingers crossed that this is a better match than whatever the paint was that the guy originally used on the front bumper. Also got some more reducer, some hardener. So good to paint a lot more stuff in the future. Outside, we've made a lot of progress today. Both the bumper and the hood are completely scuffed and ready to go. Got all the flat areas with 800 grit, and then all the hard to reach areas with a gray scuff pad. I think I showed in the B-roll. I originally thought that this might be the original paint on this hood, but I broke through in one area and you can see where it was cleared, repainted, and then cleared again. So it's had at least one repaint, which might explain whatever the defect is we have going on here. You could see it when the hood was wet. I just showed it in the B-roll just to kind of prove to you guys that what I was seeing was not in the clear coat, it was under it. So the only way to get that right is to repaint this with base and then more clear. And the reason I didn't notice it, when I bought the car is because it was dirty and I just figured it was oxidized and it would buff, but not the end of the world. Paint color didn't match that well anyways. I didn't break through to primer or anything, but I just decided to make sure it was going to be nice and smooth. Hit it with some 2K primer, sanded that with 800 grit. This is, butter smooth now, ready to go. Same thing on the bumper, all scuffed, ready to go, cleaned up, degreased, washed. I just noticed when I took the bumper off, it actually happened on both sides. You can see it a little bit right here. I didn't have the headlights adjusted right, so the headlight doors or covers were digging into the fresh paint. So we're gonna wanna make sure we adjust those when we get this repainted a second time. And it actually broke through the primer on this one. So I just reprimed it, sanded it. That should be good to go as well. So at this point, I think we are ready to set up our paint booth, and that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out right now. It says, do not use outdoors on a blustery day. I'm not a weatherman, but that looks a little blustery to me. So I don't know what this thing looks like, how light it is, how heavy it is, if it's gonna blow into another dimension if I get it up outside. So I think I'm gonna try to assemble it right here in this bay. It should be wide enough. And then we can kind of inch it outside, depending on, how stable it seems and what the weather does. So let's get to work getting this assembled, maybe see if we have room to get both parts inside. And once that's done, I think we're ready to start spraying. I don't know. Might need to find somewhere. We might need to go outside. But this wind cannot be like this. Let me brainstorm a little bit. All right, base coat is mixed up, ready to roll. This is a familiar sight. Boom. We've got ourselves a paint booth, a real one. The reason I put plastic up here is because these are the air filtration filters for your exhaust basically, but I've heard that some, paint particles can still get through, so I just want to attempt to keep that off of the other cars. But the inflation fan works really well. There is these two, there's one on each side. There's a zipper here that was wide open, and I couldn't figure out why this thing would get to a certain point and then stop. Closed both of those up, and the thing shot right up. So come on in. I really was hoping to do this outside. Biggest reason being lighting. The lighting in the garage, this roof is not transparent. There's little windows on either side, but it's just too windy. I really think this thing would probably blow away. We'd be getting fumes and stuff not going where it's supposed to. So I think inside is the move right now. I got my little hood light in here, which I think will work for now. The question is there enough room for the bumper and the hood in here at the same time? It's definitely going to be tight. So that's the next step. I already did a preliminary wipe down with glass cleaner, and paint's mixed, booth is up. So next step is to see how I can get everything in here, get the spraying. So let's see if we can make this paint look any better. I don't know. See what happens. All right, well, I've made the decision. It is going to be way too tight to have the hood and the bumper in there at the same time, so it's really not ideal, but I'm going to have to spray them separately. So I think I'll do base coat on the bumper, move it outside somehow, then bring the hood in, do base coat on that, and then same process for clear coat, and attempt to not mess up the paint in the process, which is is going to be tricky. I'm going to have to really think ahead here about how I'm going to get stuff in and out without messing stuff up. That's the only option I think right now, unless I can find a better way to get both in here, but let's get to work. Base is down on the bumper. Hood's up next. Slicked in. Your boy can lay it down. Not bad for a little inflatable paint booth. All right, front bumper's next. Let's finish this out. Ready for a cocktail. Oh, my light died. Let's see how we did. Phew! All right, garage looks like a bomb went off. Bumper looks great as far as I can tell right now. Little front plate thing looks great. We'll see how it matches, but it is very late. I'm gonna shut this booth down. It's gonna collapse. Let's let this stuff cure up. Catch you guys tomorrow. Shoo! What a mess. As usual, garage looks like a bomb went off. Did clean the gun though. Always make sure you clean your gun right after you're done painting. If you don't, it's basically ruined. So, got a little bit of clear left. Mixed up here. I love these new disposable containers. So much better than cleaning these things. But, let's see how everything looks this morning. I can't remember if I said this at the start of the video. I don't think I did. I've never painted a hood before. This is the first hood I've ever painted, and probably the most complex hood you could ever start with. We got like double humps here. The nostrils, you gotta make sure you get paint and clear in, and I'm gonna toot my own horn for a second. This thing came out so good. Like, there's a little bit of, trash right in here, but I mean, I'm in an inflatable paint booth in my garage. What do you want? I've seen worse come out of an actual paint booth, and this will wet sand easily or buff easily. But in the areas that there isn't trash, that's better than factory. Super flat, no runs or anything that I can see, which is, I guess, pretty typical for a flat surface here. But here's the best part. I couldn't even wait last night. I just had to know if this was a complete waste of time or not. And this took basically all day yesterday, this whole process. I started sanding at like 10 a.m. Had some other stuff to do, but I mean, long story short, it took most of the day. Look at that. I know it's difficult to tell on camera, but that is as close as a match as you're gonna get. It looks absolutely perfect. And we know that this is a pretty good match to the fender, so therefore the hood should match the fenders very well. And then obviously that is the same color as the bumper that we painted right after it, which should be a good match as well. Here's our deflated paint booth. Checking out the bumper. Looks nice. Uh-oh, first problem. Got a little bit greedy with trying to get a smooth finish up here, and we have got pretty decent size wave. Surf's up. No, it's just a big run. But I think a razor blade and some wet sanding, which, I always get runs when I paint because I try and lay the clear on heavy so that we get a nice smooth finish. But that's the risk you take, especially when it's a little cold out. The temperature dropped real fast last night, but that is the only flaw I see. We can easily take care of that. The rest of this looks great. Plate cover looks great. So yeah, VEVOR 13 by 8 by 8 paint booth. Success. It's perfect for what I need, just mostly doing little parts. A hood and a bumper at the same time is usually more than I would ever do. Usually I do a bumper, maybe some valve covers, some little stuff, engine parts. This is going to be perfect. Clearly it fits in the garage. If the weather's not cooperating just like it was yesterday. Gonna work great for future projects. Super happy that I picked it up. Link is gonna be in the description for this thing. There's gonna be a 5% off coupon as well. You guys know VEVOR has literally everything. Got some more of their products coming up as well. For right now, I think for my own sanity, I need to clean up the garage, get a little bit organized. The C806 sat outside last night, which never happens, but we got some rain coming today, so I'm gonna try and clean up, make some room for the C8 in here. These parts got to cure, I think, for a couple days. Normally, if it was like 70 or 80 degrees and we could set them out in the sun, we'd probably be fine to start wet sanding and buffing right now, but because it's still kind of chilly out, it's gonna take a little while. I wanna make sure I give it plenty of time. But we got other stuff, mods, more parts are still piling up for this WS6. So let's get cleaned up, get organized, and get back to wrenching on this thing. All right, garage was clean, I swear. It's now dirty again because I've, already started working again. Prepping my damaged taillight for clear coat to see if we can fix that. It's raining out, the C8 is safely back inside. More importantly, we've started some mods on the WS6. And I need your guys' opinion on a couple things, so pay attention and let me know. Center caps, we got 3 options. Option A, nothing, no center cap sticker, just chrome. Option B, the original style center cap that would have come on the factory Speedline WS6 wheels from the factory. Jeez, I said factory too many times there. Anyways, Pontiac emblem, Pontiac around the outside. So that's what we got going on the driver's side here. I kind of like the black and red. Option C is the 98, or maybe it's 96 to 2000, I guess it would be, style WS6 center cap. So all black with the actual WS6 Pontiac Performance Suspension logo. So let me know what you guys think on those. And I don't know, I'm kind of undecided. I kind of like all 3 of them. So let me know what you guys think, and we'll go with whatever you guys want. Back here, you guys all commented on this when I was doing all the suspension and brake work, is my bump stops were non-existent. They were basically not there. So I got these polyurethane ones. They don't bolt right in. You have to modify this little spacer. That's one option, or you can cut this little lip off. Again, I've said it before, I really didn't want to cut this car. So I opted to just modify the little bolt-in spacer. Now we got brand new polyurethane bump stops. Everything back here looks brand new. Also did a couple badges back here. Got the brand new WS6 badge on. That looks fantastic. And then the old ratty Pontiac inlays that were in there, got those out and painstakingly got all the glue and adhesive out of there. And was about to put in the new Pontiac inlays that I got from, I think it's Gunner Graphics. And then I decided I kind of like it with no decal, just as it would have come from the factory, just the embossed Pontiac there. So let me know what you guys think. Do we put the Pontiac, the matte black Pontiac decals in there, or do we just leave it subtle with the embossed part? I'm kind of digging exactly how this thing looks from the rear right now. Quad tips, WS6 badge, clean honeycomb taillights, and embossed Pontiac. I like it. Up next, while we're still waiting for paint to cure, I think we're gonna hop in the interior. As you guys know, interior is super clean. I don't think I've really done anything in here since we fixed the door panels in, I think it was one of the first videos. Other than that, it's basically now, since we replaced that seat and fixed that seat, a mint ebony leather interior. In the last video, we got this beautiful Hurst short throw shifter in there, so that's good. So we really don't need too much in here, but we do need to clean everything up. Those Pontiac or Firebird Phoenix things that were on the headrests when I first got the car, I peeled those off and just kind of left everything everywhere. There's electrical tape from when I was removing the remote start or security system. So basically, we just need a full clean in here. Stain right there, we'll have to get out. We'll get out the upholstery cleaner. We'll steam clean everything, wipe everything down, condition the leather seats. And you guys know I'm a big floor mat guy. I ordered some floor mats like a month ago. They came in a week or so ago. That's gonna be the finishing touch to the interior. We'll get those in. That way, when we finally finish all these exterior cosmetics, we know that the interior is already ready to go. We can call this thing done. So let's get to work on the interior. What a score. I wonder if it's in there. right, well, the interior is mostly done. Just waiting on the carpet cleaner to do its thing on that. Whatever that coffee stain is on the passenger side is a little bit stubborn, but seats are conditioned, dash and everything is wiped down, got the whole thing steam cleaned. You never know how dirty your car is until you steam clean it and all those nasty dead skin cells and 20 years of grime and stuff come off. But this was already a clean interior to start. Now it's shaping up to be even more amazing. But if you guys have been on the channel for any amount of time, you know that I'm a big floor mat guy. And no interior detail is complete without a brand new set of floor mats. I ordered these. Took a few weeks for them to come in because they're basically custom made. I think these are, yeah, Lloyd's mats. Boom! Look at that, perfect. So these are available in a couple different colors, including red, which seemed like the obvious choice given that this car is red. But I thought that that might be a little bit too loud for the interior. There's no other red in the interior. So I went with, and I think gold, which doesn't make any sense, you know, unless you have a Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am. But I think silver is just enough touch for the interior to have the Phoenix on there, and is gonna look really, really nice. So got a driver and passenger front. I'm shampooing the rear ones. You can't even see those ones anyways, so it wasn't worth the extra like 60 bucks to get rear ones. These ones are in great shape. Let's finish out this interior, finish out the carpet, give everything a final wipe down, put these babies in, and see how it looks. You know, this interior was very, very clean when I bought this car, but now it looks almost new. Incredible. Lots of steaming, carpet shampooing, wiping down, disinfecting, scrubbing, and this thing is surgically clean, back to front, top to bottom. Mint cluster, center console's nice and clean. The shift boot was disgusting. There were so many dead skin cells. Same thing with the e-brake handle. All your high touch areas. Steering wheel, the headlight knobs were gross. These things, the climate control knobs were gross. They're all super clean now. The steamer made quick work of that. The leather seats are buttery soft now that they've been conditioned. The floor mats are a super nice touch. I wish that the carpet matched a little bit better. The interior code for this car is ebony. I ordered the ebony carpet. It's just more of a gray, but it's close enough, honestly. And I really do like the silver Phoenix there. I think that's a super nice touch. Black Hearst shifter ball has grown on me. I think I'm going to keep that. I like the chrome hanging out there. Super, super nice now. I think just the right amount of aftermarket stuff in here. Just a couple little things. The radio's okay. And I do actually kind of like the 90s light up Trans Am there that lights up red. So, with that, the WS6 list has basically taken over all the way, you know, basically almost the entire bottom of the board here. But we still have a couple things left to do, but we can cross interior detail off. Got a ton done in this video. The bodywork alone, like I said, took almost a full day. I'm really, really optimistic that that bumper and hood are gonna match really well, which is gonna make this car everything that it deserves to be as a somewhat low mileage, red 6-speed WS6. And should bring a good amount of money. If anyone's interested in this car, I've had a bunch of people reach out on Instagram, Facebook, things like that. If you are seriously interested in this car, contact me now before it's too late. The price is going to be in the high 20s. So if you have that money and are been looking for a nice WS6 and you're interested in this one, let me know. Maybe we can make a deal. Maybe you can be the future owner of this beautiful car. But in the meantime, I still got a lot of work to do. We got to get the bumper on, get the hood on, get them wet sanded, buffed, finish polishing the rest of the car, ceramic coated. We got to detail this engine bay. We still got a couple mods left to do. We got some badges to put on. Lots of little finishing touches. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Not quite there yet, but this thing is going to be worth it when it's done. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you very soon in the next one.